Okay. What did we do last time? We decimated the uh attacking orc army? Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's like saying we played a game. Um, the debts got shut off somehow. We still don't know how. This concerns me greatly. Out of character, but actually, well, Arrear's no longer drunk, you know, stupid Arrear, so he's also concerned. I know, right? Well, and intrigued. Kind of half-half. Yeah. Mostly because if he figures that out, it'll tell him how they're actually wirelessly communicating, but meh. That's his primary goal, figure that out. Um, we've learned that the debts can function as guided munitions. I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't think there's much else. Left off. Yeah, we didn't find anything. Yeah, I don't think we had gone back. The rest of the orcs were either dead or retreating, right? Including the surrounding towns. Run away! Weren't we always? Maybe I just speak for Arrear, who knows? Anyway, Arrear's gonna be taking notes. For the shield spell that he did, he's adding to his notes and the debt turn off event. We did just witness. Yeah, but I mean, we did just witness one of them get fired out of a cannon and home onto one of the poor bastards. Can we stop them, take all their weapons, and then let them go? It's not going to be so much a please and thank you, it's going to be a do it or die. Give them a chance at least, but disarm them so that way they don't. Well, they could always get more weapons, but, you know, maybe delay a future problem. Other than that, I don't think we could really just kill them all. We just have to let them go. Not a bad idea, since they can communicate back. Keeps all his drugs in there. Had to hide it from a rear. Puff, puff, don't pass. Well, we don't want them to know the debts are there, right? Or do we? The recon group. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could just literally have the recon debts follow the orcs as a, go ahead, try something deterrent. What was that, Holes? Funny you should, funny you should ask. I've been working on a kind of a little prototype one. How big were you hoping it was? Uh huh. Well, we could. Messerschmitt? Option two. Option two. Option one's already been tested. Instead of a rocket, it was out of the cannon, but I want option two. Good job, Holes. That's creative thinking. Uh, yeah. The ones that are going to be dropped can just be held at the bottom, like in a bomb bay. Now, is there any way Arir can assist him in his role? Not even. Here comes flight. All right. Sweet. Arir hands the rockets over without question and pulls out his notebook to take notes. What are brakes? uh, we have devolved so far. Or he writes down in his notepad, note, make rockets quieter. In parentheses, if possible. Oh, is it the pulse jet? V1. Yet. That's fine. Gears have been invented, so you can, have a gear ratio, so that way the debts on board can just start, winding it, and then basically the gear ratio will spin it up to, 3,000 rounds a minute. Mm-hmm. I like this. It has jank combined with what could go wrong. I mean, all that's left is to name it the Luftwaffe. Damn it, we're too late. Well, this is the first strike. Quarter Reich.
Here is the thing though, you guys do control the portal. Or the teleporter.
Do we have
Should say,
station to watch that, by the way?
I mean, you have people coming through it right now, so I mean, it's being watched. So, because like King Deer's guys are coming through it, and then whatever you guys decide to send from Porsche and everything else to follow on.
My guys have been through it.
Yeah.
They're in the battle.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, all right, gentlemen, what do y'all want to do here? You guys want to? So let me ask you this from like a campaign perspective, Mr. Darius, since, or I should say, the whole entire group here.
Mm.
You guys are now like, is the decision to continue the campaign to free Avalon at this point, or?
Yes. I think.
Okay. Okay. So were you guys going to set up your base of operations just out of Kingsford in the Rebel, or
Well, we got the Orc camp that we can just
Yeah.
modify. We're right next to Kingsford with it.
oh,
Can always have the odd debt
Mm.
roaming through Kingsford.
Honestly, freeing the nation militarily is probably a bit above our pay grade.
We're just enabling a foothold for the time being.
okay?
Speaking of pay, who are you going to be charging for these services?
Who do you bloody think?
Whoever the owner of the town is, city, whatever.
We got what the bloody hell are they? So
You've
we've got
got-
the nobility of
Yeah,
Avalon.
the nobility of like the whole country. And this is where they were primarily, like predominantly, this is where they lived, was Kingsford. So, and that's what you remember is like there was it was a very rich town, and except the area where you lived, which wasn't. So everybody else, that's why you kind of have that whole, you were around the nobility a lot, even though you were a fucking orphan and dirt poor. So, yeah. There is, you remember too, looking at the map, there is the military fort not too far from where you guys are at, which was kind of the main headquarters for the Avalonian
Military.
army. Yeah, for the army
Yeah.
at least. So,
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad place to just sort of set up if it's still intact anyway.
and then moving north, you have the other cities and villages up on the other end of the island. So, so
Yeah.
okay. So with that, I guess we'll speed up unless there's anything else
Well,
that we need to do. Go ahead.
I guess we could go investigate the fort, see if it's still intact. Whether we send debts or whatever.
The fort is probably about a half a day from where you're at by foot. So,
Half a day.
yep.
Suspect we don't need a rallying map or the Elven Reach.
No, it's on the main map though, because the fort is actually on there. So,
Hmm.
So we're at Kingsford. Yeah. We're going here.
Yeah, there should be a fort, and then the orcs are moving north towards the other end of the islands, like up towards Stonehaven and up that way.
Yeah. We need the fleet here as soon as possible to help with securing Stonehaven.
Where were the, I guess, human holdouts?
Stonehaven.
Stonehaven.
So essentially, this entire island is.
Yes. That was what was reported to you from the guys that you ran into that were prisoners here. Was
Yeah.
the nobility made a deal, and they were able to retreat to Stonehaven into the islands. and
Hmm.
they gave up the main island to the orcs.
Speaking
Like-
of which,
Wait, what's this?
did they ever get back?
No, they're still out.
It's still out
somewhere.
there, right?
Yeah, they're still out there. Let me plug my phone in. I'll be right there.
Alright.
Had to plug my phone in. There we go. All right. You had a question, Canther?
Yeah, I noticed that there's a city thing here that doesn't have a name. The fort, I guess.
Yeah, that's the fort's here. And then that would be Kingsford that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then Kingsford's down here and Newmarket's down here. So
Yeah, I see the names. It was just
mm-hmm.
this guy here doesn't have a name.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll fix that. Well, I'll fix that.
Should call it Newfort.
Yeah, Newfort. There you go.
Two Fort.
Newfort.
Newfort, Twofort. Ha!
Look, Kingfort.
Kingsfort. Yeah, Kingsfort.
The Great Orc Graveyard.
The Mountain Fort, because it's in the mountains. There you go. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, the deal from what they told you was they were able to up to Stonehaven, and so the orcs are heading up towards like Woodard and up that direction.
Got a bit of a trip.
Yep. They might stop in that fort on the way there. Who knows? So you guys could go. You can go to the city here. You can go down to Kingsford here in Newmarket, or pursue them.
Normally I'd be all for, like, as a player, normally I'd be all for pursuing them, but we have no idea what the fuck else is on this island.
Yep.
I assume more orcs.
Yes.
Orcs for days.
Look, Cam, orcs. Orcs as far as the eye can see.
Well, what does our debt recon aircraft say?
It's still getting in position, so it's going to be a little bit.
Our
I-
debt recon aircraft, more like our debt monstrosity.
By the way,
SR-71. God.
how is like how does this thing look when it is flying?
It shouldn't be, but somehow it
But
is.
it is. It's the definition of a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's fucking orc logic.
Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams.
It's on
One,
Wog
one
power.
of the deaths just put a thing on top of it or a sticky note that just said fly.
Basically.
Fucking tank with the vroom sticky note in it.
The tank with no engine, just vroom vroom.
Yep. And so if you guys wait the 2 days, the fleet does arrive,
Cool.
and you guys are rested. The debts over that 2 days report that the orcs passed through this village here and just went up into the mountains before they had to turn around and they ran out of rocket power, and they had to
Right.
make a very violent landing nearby. But they are shadowing them. But they're up in the mountains right now, right up in here. They're starting to hit up into this area. So that's where they went. Some did go over to into this area, but like I said, they followed the main body up into the mountains. Well, hello.
Who are you saying hello to?
No, just somebody started streaming.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Admiral and Lucaster and Baywater, all three arrive off of their ships. Who's going to meet them? Is it? I'm assuming Darius,
Of course.
Scamos.
That's interesting debacle.
Interesting debacle. Why do you say that?
We'll just see what happens.
Okay. But yeah, so they all come down, and they're keeping their ships airborne at the moment because, just in case the Orc fleet shows up or whatever else happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you see Baywater comes up to you. Baywater and Lucaster come up to you first, and it's like, well, like what you've done with the place?
We just sort of made this orc camp our own, and just the odd orcs still running around, just living their average life.
And he's just like, he looks back and just Kingsford's still in ruins. He's like, well,
Yeah.
that's not a sight to see coming home.
No, it was not.
Anybody else, if you want to be there, you can be there as well. So what do you have to report?
Well, we've taken the southern part of Avalon. All the orcs sort of bailed after a devastating counterattack that they tried to perform on us. That just, well, devastating for them, I should say.
Do you all of like the whole region or just this area?
Was it the whole region or was it the
No,
area?
it was just the area.
Oh, sorry. I was misinterpreting what you said.
No.
This region, then. I would say that we've taken this region. So we have our foothold.
I see. Has there been any survivors?
Apparently, the survivors are up in Stonehaven. What's left of the nobility. Apparently, there are men running around here, last stands and all that. We did send one man out who is a captive here in this camp to retrieve them if possible. There is the fool that basically was put in charge of
The captain, yes.
the captain.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really address him by his rank personally.
Oh.
Instead of trying to coordinate an evacuation for civilians and get them cleared, it was I'm just going to have armed them and so got them massacred.
Is he still alive?
He is.
Well, we'll take custody of him then.
He was nearly killed by the man that the other survivor that was in the camp, but
we're gonna try him. So
that's what
you
I
should
thought was
do
going.
here. He's probably gonna hang, but you know it is what it is.
Oh yes, it's absolutely stupid. What he did was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
If he doesn't hang, I'd be shocked.
Anyway, by the way, the admiral doesn't really come over. He's like surveying and talking to one of his other aides, and it looks like they're thinking about how they're gonna set up their
ships.
Yeah, and like defense and all that here. So Baywater does have his new ship with him.
Nice.
Yep, so that's here, and the Stingray's here. So
we have 2 ships. Brilliant. I feel like now that we've got a foothold set up down here, we kind of need to go deal with the nobility.
Oh?
Yes. Order needs to be established. If the orcs do retaliate, they'll probably aim for Stonehaven rather than us. So 2 days, probably not enough time for them to mount an entire attack. Yet, anyway. But we would need to pull them out of the line of fire, at the very least, the last survivors. Probably need to discuss with the Admiral to borrow a couple more ships.
No, we've only got about 10, so including mine and the Stingray.
That is including the Stingray and the maybe another ship just to help with the evacuation.
Okay. Because remember when you guys evacuated last time, it was mainly church that did it last time. So.
Much as I'm not a fan of nobles, we do have to try and keep them alive.
I mean, or burn it down, challenge the status quo. No.
I mean, technically speaking,
that is usually
we have all the power. We kind of have all the power in the situation as it is.
I mean, we have an heir to the throne right back there, and he's pointing to Lucaster.
Yes, exactly.
So, but burn it down and start it over. I mean, why not?
It's better to make it look legitimate, though. Before massive reforms, at the very least.
I see.
Otherwise, if word were to spread, oh yeah, these fucking adventurers just, slapped one of their friends in the throne, looks a bit dodgy. We're trying to get as many countries as possible on board with what we need them to be. So that does include keeping the peace as much as possible.
Yeah.
And you start overthrowing monarchies and nobility, and then every country does it, and there's civil wars, and where every country tries.
Okay. Well, we'll at least get the Stingray and my ship, and we can probably call. He hasn't named it yet. What do y'all want to name it? He hasn't named it yet.
He's sailing a ship without a name.
Yeah, it has no name.
Yeah,
yes.
That's really for
trouble.
That is unlucky as fuck. My family are like sailors, all. Don't do that.
I know. I know.
Not
actually, no. I was gonna ask you all, what would you guys like to name it, since it's your guys' group ship too? That's why it's more of the I don't have one yet, because I wanted you guys to name it.
I got an important question to ask first, though. Like,
yes.
Rex, you said that your family were sailors?
Like, catamarans, transportation, shit like that.
Be
No,
careful what
I
the
thought-
next
I
words
thought
out of
you-
your mouth are, Duel.
Brexit. I thought you guys were sheep herders.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
How do you think they
Technically, I thought you were
transported
gonna
the sheep?
insult sailors then.
Canther was waiting for a naval joke and it did not happen.
Oh, it was
Yes.
a sheep joke.
Balls were smarter than that, Canther.
Are we sure about that?
No, it was just easier to make fun of Brexit involving sheep than sailors.
Again, not Welsh.
You sailed there a lot, though, didn't you?
What? No.
Did you sell sheep on the sailboat? Is that what happened?
No, well, the sailing I've done is like to the Isles of Scilly, Isle of Man, shit like
Minglet?
that.
Minglet?
Never went up to fucking Wales.
Alright, fuck it. If no one's gonna take the low-hanging fruit, I will. The seamen fuck the sheep.
Wow, Minnie.
No. Never would have guessed, Minnie.
Wow, Minnie.
Look,
Mini, that's...
look. I was waiting
Mini,
for it. No one.
How do you have a degree in engineering?
Is Minnie the smartest one here?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, it's only
Well,
a
I get-
bachelor's degree.
Well, actually, you know what? I guess he got a high intellect stat, not a high wisdom stat.
That's fair.
Ooh. Anyway,
Look, my character sheet says I can use one for the other.
I'm not
but you-
referring to your character, mate.
Yeah. Anyway,
I know wisdom was his dump stat. I
so
swear to God.
what do you guys want to name the ship? And then what's the next step?
I feel next step is, securing the nobility and whatever other survivors.
Okay. Anybody else okay with that? Not okay with that? Does the group wanting to do that? Or
It also sets the standard that, we're liberators rather than conquerors.
although we're just gonna wait for the air carrier to show up and just get on that thing? I mean, that is an option.
How long is that going to take?
Another week, probably.
Yeah,
Like, they literally just left. There is another fleet coming, and they do tell you that. Like, the Ostrich Volunteer Fleet. Basically, Porsche built a navy for you, and they just didn't tell anybody.
Yep.
So,
The volunteer fleet, all owned by Porsche.
it's all owned by Porsche. It's the first PMC. Yep.
Yep. What are you on about? We're going to become the foundation of transportation and communications all across this world. Yes, bitch, I'm going Comstar. Let's go.
God.
Praise to Darius. Praise be to Darius. Yes.
Seagull.
No, it's Comstar, so it's Jihad.
God. Anyway.
It's fine. We can add that in. It's only quarter rank, so we got 3 quarters left to fill.
And y'all didn't
Jesus.
think I was going to be able to shoehorn the fucking MechWarrior campaign into this. Let's go!
Yeah.
the true foundation of the initial Star League house, from whatever nobility is left.
Left on this continent when we're
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said Star League. It starts
billions
from
of
here.
years later.
No, it's only 20 years later.
Anyways.
Anybody disagree?
I don't think anyone's disagreeing. By
Nope.
the sounds of it.
It's
I'm
not
just gonna-
my country.
Cool. So secure la nobilité.
I'm getting the ship name generator up. I'll throw some ideas. There we go.
Yeah. Anyone got a ship name off the top of their head?
Sure. What could possibly go wrong?
Bad ship
Fuck
name.
off.
The
I
Ram.
mean, technically speaking, for this situation, we could call it Kingmaker.
The Kingmaker. Oh my god.
I mean, it fits the situation of why it was christened.
Minefield.
Sure. Now, what happens in a year?
Yeah, exactly.
Battler.
What?
Battler. I'm literally like, I pulled up a name generator, and that was the first one that came up. Was Battler. The Hollyhawk. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? This name generator is weird. Intrepid.
How
Um,
big is this ship?
It's a fucking like heavy cruiser. Like this thing is it's not a battleship, but it's a battle cruiser. It's heavy cruiser battle cruiser size. Like this thing is built to
So
go
it
toe to toe with
so
anything.
out of what's left of the Avalon fleet here, I'm assuming it's slightly smaller than the
Yes, the Admiral ship.
Admiral
Mhm.
ship. I mean, I could easily throw a fucking Star Wars reference in here and just call it the Kraken.
Oh god.
Oh no,
The
that was the
Katana.
Chimera. That was the Chimera. Sorry, I was thinking of
Love
Thrawn
the
ship.
katana. Nothing can go wrong.
The Katana? HMS
Mhm.
Katana? Really?
You could build a whole fleet of them.
Oh, I see. I'm actually okay with that. Yeah, Katana it is. Anybody
works for me.
disagree?
I'm fine with Katana. I don't give a fuck. I was just spitballing.
Yeah. So it's the Katana.
Wait, really?
Yes, we're going with that one.
Yours was the
Designed
least.
wonderfully.
Yes, it is.
Yours was the
Indubitably.
least bad out of all of ours. So you win.
Congratulations.
And for some reason, it's got like this Eastern Asia or like Asian aesthetic.
Of course it does.
Japan, because you know Katana. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
Incense flowing from behind it as it travels.
No. It's just a regular ship. It's very similar to the other Avalonian and Ostrich ships that you've seen. And if you guys want to board that or the Stingray, let me ask you that. Which one do you guys all want to take the ride on? Up
Well,
to
it's gonna take us.
Stonehaven.
It's gonna be what, a couple days?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
about 3 days.
Which one is going to be our main ship?
I mean, what do you think?
That's
The
why I'm asking.
big one, I'm guessing.
I mean, the Katana's big enough; they could actually probably bolt the Stingray on top of the deck. But
Right, we just leave the Stingray there. Its crew's just sort of sat there like, wow, this is
this sucks.
easy.
This is
This is
easy.
easy. We got a break. Fuck yeah.
What they don't tell you is the Katana has a Bombay door for the Stingray.
Oh my god. They're just there like, hey, get that engine running. But we're inside the. Get the engine running. Okay. And they get the engine running. Then they just open the bomb.
Yep.
You just see a
That's the
det
thing.
like beside the Bombay door, like swinging his arms. Wah, wah.
Yep. That is now canon. That is
Sweet.
the
It goes
fact.
where?
Well, it is a
It goes
det.
wah. So you guys head towards, get on the boat, get on the ship,
Yeah.
and you guys head out over the ocean, and then up the channel towards Stonehaven. Do you guys want to have any conversations en route before we move on? To, say, talk to Lucaster, or talk to Baywater some more, or is Minnie gonna go figure out how to make rocket fucking tomahawks off of an airship? I don't know at this point.
I mean, that sounds like something Minnie's gonna do.
Not a bad idea. But before that,
Oh no.
Oh,
is
God.
there any designs aboard this ship, the other ship, any of the flying ships for that Gatling gun?
I mean,
Because
you have one that on you.
I do.
Yes.
Are you sure? Because I thought I asked that already when I was gathering the material, and I didn't
You-
have one. Nor had I seen one from Porsche yet, because that's why I didn't build the thing to mount deployed.
Oh no, there's one that's mounted. They are mounted on the ship.
Gotcha. Okay.
So-
Yeah, he's going to be inspecting that to be able to reverse engineer it to, construct his own.
Mount deployed.
It's gonna jam all the fucking time.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong?
A lot.
Just fire explosive rounds, so that way when it jams, it blows one of the barrels off and it just continues on.
So, alright, so Ryu's doing that. Scamos, what is Scamos doing on the boat? Are you hanging out with the rear? Or are you just hanging out by yourself?
I'm just kind of chilling. Find a spot to chill, and I'm gonna chill there.
Okay. You're in like one of the magazines, and you're just like chilling in the magazine, and like
Sure.
somebody walks by, and you're like,
Oh, that's
Step in here
"You
and I look-
lost?
No,
You
just
lost?"
hanging out here.
I see.
dangerous.
Freaking Gozzik walks by, and like, you scare Gozzik. Do you like jump out and go ooga booga, and then
No,
no? Okay.
I just send one of the debts to follow him.
So
See how long
Gozzik,
it
you're
takes
walking
him to
around the
notice.
ship.
Yes.
Roll a perception check, Goss. See if you notice the debt behind you.
No, not a good start.
No?
E
What'd you get?
15.
That's a pretty good start. Yeah, it's pretty easy to spot a debt that's behind you.
What the fuck?
Thunk. Thunk.
Exactly.
I'm gonna continue walking some more feet and then look behind me.
It's still there.
I'm gonna continue walking some more feet and look behind me.
Still there.
Still there.
I don't know, I'm just gonna go to my room then.
It follows you, and I guess it stands at like at your doorway, just stares at you.
Well, it's gonna be hard to do that because it's gonna be staring at metal.
Well, if you have the door open,
I close
your
the
hatch
door
open.
behind me.
Oh, you're closing the hatch.
Yeah.
It's just staring at the hatch. Unless
just
you want to
there.
do something else, Halls.
No.
It's just there staring at the hatch like, let me in.
Yes.
Let me in.
Let
Yeah,
me
it just stands
in.
there and waits.
Okay. Cam, you wanting to do anything, or you just wait until?
Doesn't really have anything to do, so I guess I'm playing cards and wherever.
Okay. Are you playing by yourself, or do you go seek people, like crew, like off-duty crew or something, and being like, "Let's play cards, boys." What?
Mm-hmm. Probably just wherever, whoever.
Okay. So yeah, Cam's running a card game on the ship. That's cool. What is Darius doing? What does Darius do?
Well, I'd probably end up having to go talk with Lucaster, not gonna lie.
Okay, we can do that. So you find him. He's in. One thing about the Stingray is it's attached inside of the dang ship.
Yeah, so I know he's just gonna be on the Stingray, so it's like,
Yep, he's
We'll
on the
find his
Stinger. You
quote.
walk to the Stinger. You walk into like the big like ship bay, and you just see like a ship within a ship, and you're like, "Huh,
neat.
neat."
Like just casually that, like neat.
Yep. And yeah, the Stingray and the crew on the Stingray, but they're not like they're cleaning it and stuff.
Yeah,
Pretty much
still
all they're
doing
doing.
shit.
Yeah.
They're still doing shit, but they're just like, well, fuck, I don't have to do too much.
Mhm.
Still
Yeah.
progressing through, because obviously, I've seen sailors do their jobs,
Yep. You've been on the ship a few times too, and it's like, yeah, this is normal. So
yeah.
and they let you on, and you go find Lucaster.
I suspect that he's probably in his quarters.
Yeah.
He's not overseeing.
One of the sailors walked you to the entrance, knocks on the door, and you come in, and he opens the door, and you're able to walk in, and the sailor closes the door behind you, and you and Lucaster are in a room.
Hello, Lucasta. It has
Well-
been a while.
It has, Darius. I'm surprised to see you.
Yes. There is a reason for that.
Hmm.
Because you a hoe.
Because you's a hoe.
Use a
Um,
hoe.
With how obviously you've seen the devastation wrought on Kingsford, and
Yes.
seeing as from what we've heard, what survivors are basically up there in Stonehaven, and we heard that the king died, right?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
he's MIA, but it sounds like he's done. They were pretty sure he was.
Done in.
Yeah.
There's a chance he could be alive, but they're not holding out hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Doggo's going crazy. I apologize. With the situation involving the country itself, its nobility, its leadership, from what we've heard, theory is the king's dead. Nobody sort of stepped up. You can probably guess what I'm implying towards you with that.
And you see him. He gets he has his cup of tea on his desk, and he just starts sipping. He just sips it really quick, as a gentleman would.
Yes. A member of the nobility or an aristocratic family.
Yeah. Oh, where's my manners? Would you like some tea?
I'm fine. I'm going more towards the harder stuff after everything that's happened still fairly angry after what happened when we first got here.
That's a little early to do that today, isn't it?
I'm not starting yet,
Okay.
but I'll have some in a bit. Definitely. It's not pleasant
Well,
coming home and seeing a country destroyed,
no,
even
but
if you were the lower rungs.
you got to remember the orcs. This is what they do. I mean, look at what happened with. Oh wow, I forgot my own place. Holy shit.
What I done
Rip.
goofed.
Yep. Just don't forget the place where the orcs were from last time. There you go. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was gonna say a shear, but I'm like, that's not right. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is kind of right too, but different reasons. But look at where they go. They just brought devastation behind them.
Yes. I found it quite insulting seeing them trying to adapt our culture into theirs, though.
That's a new one. I'm wondering if it's because of who's in charge.
Mm-hmm. Which
The war chief maybe wants to be human. I don't know. It's a little
or
weird.
maybe wants to truly have his people settle down with a safe location.
Yeah, but completely copying our society. A little weird.
Well, we're one of the, humans are one of the most widespread species. Maybe he feels like if he copies what we do, it will help the
But
orcs or something.
why not Voland or Ostrich? Why?
Because they were basically told,
Hmm.
secure this place.
Hmm.
And also, there seems to have been infighting amongst the orcs throughout the entirety of Chaos's invasions.
Well, that's commonplace.
Like, we're talking two factions here.
Hmm.
This also may have been some lingering influence from Victor, seeing as he created a big split between all the orcs.
Yep. I heard about that from Baywater.
Hmm. So that's what this could truly be. Just some lingering last minute.
So we're talking me taking the throne then.
Yes.
He doesn't look too amused by that thought.
I mean, I bet he doesn't. He's quite happy being a fucking ship captain, isn't he?
Well, I was like, and he's like, Dare, you should understand, I was like number 75th in line, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Better than
you're
King
the.
Scampos.
Better than King Scamos.
It is better than King Scamos.
Well,
That, and you're the only one in line that can be found, because no other ones. No
they're all
word of any.
dead or missing.
Yep. And
Or we could spin a story and prove that maybe you're royalty, eh?
Is he implying that I become king of Avalon? Jesus. I mean, I highly doubt that would
I
work.
mean, or we can talk to Scamos and we can have him look like one of the
Yes, I'm not giving him
descendants.
control.
No?
I'm not giving him control of the country, though we do owe him a favor of just allowing his people to live in the country without persecution. That's the word.
Okay.
Because he is helping. The debts can easily rebuild an entire city in a week or two. That, and they've already helped gain that foothold off the bat for us.
Well, maybe the debts can start rebuilding Kingsford.
Oh, I think they will once we've got ourselves properly situated with the rest of the environment around us.
I see problems when we get to Stonehaven if I appear and I proclaim that I am.
Well, we need to get a lay of the situation first. I'm not saying you immediately dive out saying, "Hello, yes, I am now going to be king." You know what I mean?
I mean, we might have to do that though.
That may also happen.
I
To even-
can't wait to be king.
Anyway, is there any chance that we can maybe get Darius or Scamos to start maybe repairing Kingsford or helping?
I assume that
Our
we have.
forces there?
I assume we have a debt or two with us.
I mean, there's one literally staring at Gothic's door right now. So yes, there
Yes.
is.
So yes, I'll go discuss with Scamos to get the reconstruction efforts started. Not fully finished because obviously he still wants a bargaining chip. He wants a bit more of a bargaining chip in case the nobility say no,
I mean,
which is fair enough.
if everything is going to happen, I am the nobility. So
That is true.
what I
That is
say goes.
I do hope it goes smoothly as well.
It probably won't.
Did
Oh.
anyone did anyone explain to him what Scamos is?
Luke Astor doesn't know. Luke Astor's
Yeah,
only
there's
known
no
you as.
idea. There
Yeah.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no idea. I just said for him and his people. I did not imply anything. I did not say what you were. I'm just saying,
Yep.
Yes, that's the problem.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
you may
It's
want to
probably
have it.
something we should have made sure up front.
Yeah. But I'm gonna leave it like that, and then
He's
I'm gonna go find
Roscovan, right?
He is Roscovan, yes.
Mm.
In a manner of speaking.
In a manner of speaking.
He is
Manner
also
of
Roscovan.
He's also Roscovan.
He's Roscovan, right? In a manner of speaking.
You may want to have a discussion with him about that.
Well, I can send for him.
Last report, he was chilling in the magazine with a
in one
light.
of the magazines, and you hear him.
You know
He
what they
like
say about
summons.
idle hands? They're Scamus' playthings.
He summons one of the sailors into the room. He's like, "Go find Scamos. I think he was in like the third magazine for like the third
big ship.
Yeah, and so he runs off, and 5 minutes later, Scamos, the sailor, comes walking. Is like,
Scamos's gunpowder painting and the sailor.
gunpowder. What are you painting in gunpowder?
Just a random landscape out of gunpowder. Scamos got bored in the magazine but didn't feel like leaving, so
The sailor walks in.
So you literally just got gunpowder all over the floor. You're just moving it with your fingers.
no, it's on I actually got a piece of paper, so it is.
Oh, so you've actually wet the
Yes.
gunpowder and painted with
Yes.
it properly. Okay.
It's like macaroni. It's like macaroni art with gunpowder.
Yes, basically. Terrible, like this is how bored Scamos gets on the ship at times.
Well, the sailor walks in. It's like, impressive. It's better than 80% of what I've seen the other guys do it.
I mean, at least I didn't punch a hole in the ship, so.
Are you bored?
Rare sneezes and shivers.
Anyway, Luke Astor's looking for you, and Darius. They're on the Stingray.
Okay.
They'd like to speak with you.
Okay. Well, let's go.
So he leads you. You also walk into the So he's like, "How do you get?" You're sitting there, like, "How do you get to the Stingray?" Because you haven't seen this yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they open up a hatch, and then you see the Stingray inside the ship.
Well then.
It fits quite snugly, doesn't it?
Surprising, isn't it? Sailor
All
talk.
this does is gives me ideas to give to a rear.
Oh god, no.
Anyway, he leads you onto the Stingray and walks you
If
into
we can
the.
do this with ships, and as we're walking through it, I'm gonna kind of thinking about it. So if we can do that with ships, do you think we can do that with explosives?
I mean, theoretically.
Gonna have to find a rear later.
No.
Oh no. He leads you in.
Ace?
He leads you into the ship and escorts you to the captain's room and opens the door, and you see
Oh.
Darius and Luke Astor sitting. Luke Astor is drinking his tea.
Mhm.
Oh, hey,
I
Scamos.
have one of my debts for communication with me.
I see. Well, those things aren't creepy. As he puts the teacup down.
I mean, if you want, I can have one assigned permanently to you.
I mean, I think we're okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I can reassign one of the 3 that's constantly watching a rear.
I'm by the way a rear, and it skips to a rear, looking at the Gatling cannon. You see 3 of them in a vent looking at him.
Yeah, they're all just grouped up in one vent.
Now, how is Plode's automatic programming for monitoring them monitoring me going?
Terrible.
Got it. He's watching.
Just a lot of bugs.
There.
Yeah. You're okay. Anyway, it jumps back to Luke Astor, Darius, and Scamos. So, Darius here tells me, you don't want your people persecuted.
No, not particularly.
Well, you want a safe place for them, is what I was implying.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what you're... He kind of picked it up pretty quick. Credit where credit is due.
I did say the word persecuted, though, I think.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Ah,
Yeah.
Well, yes.
So, yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, you're all Roscovan, so that's we just have to deal with.
I'm gonna give Darius a very firm look.
Yes, I thought it best you explain that bit.
What a bitch you are, Darius.
I don't know
Am
if
I
you would have
missing
believed.
something?
I don't know if you would have believed me if you didn't show him. Well, you came out your mouth at the very least.
Roscovan by nationality, technically. And then I'm gonna flick the robe off.
flick the hood off.
Not by race, as the illusion breaks.
But he's just like,
Oh. Well, shit, didn't know that. Why
so
did we
they
go for
are
that?
real.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had my doubts.
Gee, when your whole race gets hunted into the wilds of Ruskova and is constantly being massacred, yes, it tends to stop existing in most places.
He's not really like phased by this at all. He's just like, Ducaster has seen some shit. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, especially because he's been hanging out with Baywater and all them. So yeah, he's seen some shit. And he continues sipping honesty. I'm still fine with that. There might need to be some ground rules that
as?
we set with our constituents, as it were.
And those would be.
You know,
No soul contracts, yada yada yada. That's
yeah, things like that. Soul contracts, no eating of babies, anything like that.
Whoa, that is
Yeah, I
a
did.
full-blown demon thing. Excuse you, sir.
I mean, what's the difference?
Oh.
I mean, and he genuinely doesn't know. I mean, he's just asking.
Does he actually like phrase it like an actual like what's the
Yeah,
difference?
and
Like, okay,
yeah, what's the difference? Or there is a
Half.
difference.
half demon, half,
Ah.
not
So
full.
the other half is what eats the babies then?
No, that is a full demon thing only.
That's what I'm saying. The other half of never mind. It was a bad joke, and he like continues drinking his tea.
Yes, it was a very bad joke given the topic at hand. But anyways,
We could also possibly give you one of the islands for your people.
Not a bad deal.
So, anyone want to make their own little Israel?
oh god,
Oh boy.
this is gonna be. This is
I-
gonna be bad.
I wouldn't be against giving you Welsh Bowl.
Ah!
Gonna look at Darius as he laughs.
Oh no, that was out of character. That was out of character, motherfucker.
No, I'm taking that
Why
as
is
in
this not in the
character.
Shannon?
That Inishan's Island.
Yeah. It's Welsh Bowl. When the time comes, we would need to offer to allow those people that may not want to maybe live there to move.
I mean, I don't care. Like, I'm not asking that you trap all those people there with this. I am asking for a space that we can have our own place in. That is it. Like, if that's in one of the cities here where we're there, everyone is going to be treated as equals, that's fine. If you want to give us a whole ass island to ourselves, that's fine. If people don't want to stay, they can leave if they'd like. I'm not asking that you guys sit there and make your citizens live where they're not comfortable. I am simply asking as repayment for helping resecure your lands and rebuilding your cities that my people have a place to stay. Where they're not, going to be constantly at risk of being hunted down and stabbed like 87 times in the face.
Why specifically 87 times and the face?
Because that's the current record.
What?
Yeah, you church people can be really brutal, Darius.
Yeah, not
That sounds like something the church would do, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Though I was mainly just a fighter. Didn't really seem to
87
do
times
this
is
time.
very specific.
Yes.
Lucky
Someone
number.
somebody really did not like demons.
Yes. Anyway, I mean, Scamos, they'll when things get a little more clear, and when I officially take over or discuss with the person that will be taking over, one of the two, we'll put it in writing and make it official. But
Okay.
handshake deal will do for now. Sticks his hand out.
A handshake deal will get you my assistance in retaking your lands for the simple fact that I trust him and I'm going to point to Darius. For the reconstruction efforts, I'm fine with helping with supply and keeping people from dying, but the mass rebuilding projects will start after the deal is on paper, and then I will shake his hand.
Okay. That's fair.
It's a good deal. It's a
We
good deal.
just made Tiefling Israel a thing.
Why does it specifically have to be Israel? What the fuck is wrong with you all?
It quite literally
Because
is
the way
though. Think
Israel
about
was
it.
made,
Yeah,
the
it's
way
literally
Israel
how
was
this
made
went down.
was
If-
Britain gave a whole bunch of land that they technically owned but had people on it already to another group of people that they shuttled over there, and they said, "Go free, my pretties."
Go free
Right.
my pretty.
And it just went from there, except this time we're allowing for actual willing relocation, and the tieflings are just kind of like, we just want houses, man, that's all.
Well, at least at least it's not gonna go the way of fucking Hadrian. Well, you never know. You
They
never
don't
know
need
if
a
there's a
wall.
Van Helsing type.
They don't need a wall. They've got an island.
Yeah. Well, you never know in the future. Fucking Van Helsing type just goes fucking Hadrian on him.
He's gonna. Why would Van Helsing build a wall?
Sorry, did you not know what Hadrian did? To fucking
Hadrian's wall?
Jerusalem? It just Hadrian did have the wall built to keep the Picts out, yes. But I'm more referring to his absolute massacre of the Jewish people.
You're gonna have to be more specific. Like, when the only thing you say is massacre of the Jewish people, you're gonna have to be way more specific.
That's happened
Hadrian
a
did
few
it.
times. Yeah,
It has happened
Hadrian
a few.
did do it.
Yeah, Hadrian sort of did the big one before the Germans. I mean, he just sort of went, "Wow, they're arguing over shekels again. Fuck it, where are my legions? Let's go!" and just fucking beat
Wow.
the shit out of them.
Him and like 3 other emperors did that too. So
But Hadrian did it
the big one.
worst.
Yeah.
Hadrian did the big one.
Yeah,
I mean-
honestly, the only thing I knew about Hadrian was he built a wall, and that's only because it was called Hadrian's Wall.
That and he absolutely hated women.
That is the
Ye-
majority of the Holy Roman Empire.
He absolutely hated women and just preferred to bang boy puss.
Anyway,
Ah, the church.
the church.
The
Some
Romans.
things never change.
Anyway, so Scamos, you want to start? Do you have any other questions and/or comments for Lucaster?
Nah.
No.
With the very implied reasoning of like as Darius probably has already picked up from this and all that Darius is gonna have to help come through on this now.
I can't believe I've just been locked into assisting you with this deal, goddammit.
Isn't it great how impactful it is when I sit there and go, oh, I trust you, and that's the sole reason I'm willing to agree to this. And Darius is like, shit, I'm honor bound now.
Oh, Darius. This is Lucaster again, by the way, just for your info. There is he hands you a letter. Baywater wanted me to give this to you. There has been contact made with your old order. The remnants of it.
Oh, what, my original order that I was trying to rebuild, or the ones that I had brought in to rebuild it?
The ones that you brought in to rebuild it.
Okay.
And in the letter, it was from our friendly neighborhood father.
Our friendly neighborhood father.
father. Yeah.
Fucking, I forgot his bloody name. He's been out of the.
For
been out
so
of-
long. I know.
Yeah. What's his fucking
Camp here,
name?
do you got the notes, buddy?
Yansky?
Yeah,
Yansky.
Yansky. It's
Yansky!
Yeah,
There he is.
Yansky. I knew it was Polish. I was trying to remember. Yeah, Yansky.
Yep.
And it states that he has spoken with the ones that were trapped in the whole lines with like under the influence of Victor, and
Yeah.
he was able to convert 25 of them back.
So I have 25.
Yep. Out of like the 300 you had.
Yep.
And in the note they said they were heading for Faldenstein and they'd be there in a week. And that was dated actually dated before you left. So you guys got like they gave the letter to Baywater because they left, but it was a week. So they should be in Waldenstein now.
Ah.
So.
Wow.
And they would wait till they got further instruction, and they would also try to spread the I don't want to say the gospel of Darius because that sounds weird.
But the like the insights of the
message.
order
Yeah.
insights of the order that change is something that's got to happen one way or the other.
Yes.
You have to evolve with the times.
Yes.
Shit like that. How the order was.
And do some recruitment maybe.
Fantastic. I'm quite happy with them off doing that. Helps. Have we got a way of contacting the other fleet coming?
I mean, they have. I mean, you guys could literally relay through the debts back to the Admiral.
I'm assuming the Admiral has a way of contacting them, right?
Yes, they do.
So if we relay to I need to relay to the Admiral that, hey, most of Avalonians, most of our forces, our ground forces, are kind of in fucking. Oh fuck.
I mean, you guys also left a debt in Waldenstein too. Like, you guys can go all the way. Like, you guys literally have debt cell phones now too. By the way, they're a thing.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming the fleet hasn't left yet.
The other one is getting ready to leave, but yes.
Right. So I need to relay a message through the debts to Waldenstein.
Okay.
As like, hey, before you bring the fleet here, I need you to go pick up some people for me.
Uh-oh. Who are they gonna go pick up?
The entirety of the Avalonian military.
Oh. Oh yeah. Totally,
Yeah.
they're in France.
Yeah, they're in France. They're in
Milan.
Milan. So
Yeah.
yeah, they need to go fucking find those motherfuckers and bring them here.
Okay.
I mean, finding an entire army should be relatively easy from the sky.
I mean, here's the thing. They may not have enough transports.
They got
Even
there
if they-
somehow.
Even if they have to ferry them, we just need them.
I mean, by boats? By actual ocean-going boat?
Oh god, no.
Yeah.
Even if they have to run like ferry trips back and forth,
Hmm.
we need them. They need to come home.
The boys need to come home.
The boys need to come home.
Boys back in
The
town.
boys.
So there's nothing more motivating than arriving home and seeing the capital fucking destroyed.
Yep. Is that where you want them to get dropped off to? Is Kingsford?
Well, this is our foothold.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
they are
want them
going to work
motivated.
on that while you're in Stonehaven.
Willie McBride.
I definitely am not an asshole for motivating this.
So, a few days later, you guys make it to Stonehaven,
Mhm.
and it's a town. It's not one of the more. It's not like Kingsford. It wasn't extravagantly built, but it was very much.
It was like a port town, so it wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Probably a bit of farmland and stuff that they would have.
and the Stonehaven family, which you
Mhm.
guys remember, part of the whole thing. It's named after the main family that kind of founded and was like the
Kingford, yeah.
the duke of the city basically. They're very much into maritime, so fishing. They do shipbuilding, like actual shipbuilding,
Yeah, regular ship, not airships.
not airships, but they do regular ships, and so they're very much that maritime industry. Almost like, I don't want to say Portsmouth, but like that mid England, northern England with the shipbuilding. They're northerners basically.
Yep.
And you guys are able to land in one of they have a dock. They do have an airship dock here. And you guys are able to attach in, and Lucaster and Baywater both join the group if everybody's getting off this thing. And I'm assuming Scamos, you're going with your Robon. Or
Yeah.
you just okay.
Yeah, he
And
decided to be very bold for his first introduction to the people that
we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
see
right.
if this deal works. Let's go. Anyway, you guys start going down the elevator off of the dock.
Mhm.
Arier, do you bring Plode with you,
Um,
or do you leave him on the ship?
these are the ones that hate Plode. I'll leave them on the ship.
No, I mean
No,
you don't know, but
this is Avalon, not.
it's Avalon.
You've never
It's-
been here before.
You've never been to this city before.
Wait, I thought Avalon was the one that.
Nope.
Where?
No, that's a
Avalon.
Rallian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Fucking similar name.
The
Yeah, okay,
elves,
Plode's
brother.
coming with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the elves.
Plode's coming
this
with
is
me then.
Stonehaven. So,
Well, time to create a new city where Plode's not allowed.
are you taking Plode with you then?
Yeah, I'm taking him with me this time.
Okay. So the elevator is struggling, by the way. It's like not, I mean, it's used to weight, but not with all of you in Plode.
I mean, Plode is a heavy bastard.
Yeah. So you guys get to the bottom down, the elevator stops and the doors open. And you just see this older gentleman. It's like in his mid to late 50s, maybe early 60s. He has a book and has an ink pen, and he's like, "Oh, welcome to Stonehaven."
Hello. I'm just sort of looking around the docks a little bit. I'm assuming
You
that
have
he's
never
like,
actually been here before,
yeah,
so
exactly. I've never been here,
yeah.
so I'm having a look around.
You looking around and you see like the shipbuilding very similar to what Porsche had for like a slipway, but it's
Actual
ocean. It's an
ocean.
actual into the ocean.
Yeah.
And fishing boats coming in and out, people getting fish. You get that smell, that port smell of like, yeah, it's fish. It's fish.
It's
So,
fishy over here.
It's fishy. And Luke Castor and Baywater just go up and start talking to him, and they're all trying to get stuff sorted, and he's like,
he's the port manager.
yeah. And then he's like, well, we're Avalonian Dave. If you
Da 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 da
Okay.
da.
And Baywater or Lucaster comes back to you guys. He's like, well, I guess we should head up to the head up to the castle, the mansion here, I should say. Almost said
Yeah.
castle. It's a mansion.
Head up to wherever the
Yep.
nobility will be.
Yep. From what Baywater and I'd gathered, it's the majority of the nobility and the court is here, actually.
Oh yeah, they
Oh.
obviously ran for their fucking lives.
Yep. Without the king and the queen and everybody.
Yep. The court will save itself rather than it's what it's meant to be saving.
Yep. Lucaster and Baywater, they're leading the way.
Yep.
You guys walk through I mean, this is a city. I mean, for Avalonian standards, it's a probably medium-sized city. It's probably 5,000, 6,000 people that probably live
Yep.
here. Plus all the people on the coast and nearby.
Mhm.
Shops, people say it's a normal English city in that
Okay.
era. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys walk through. There is a city guard.
Of course.
And there is some Avalonian military here that are helping, like kind of patrol, and they're saluting Lucaster and Baywater as they walk by because common courtesy.
Common courtesy.
But the military here, they look pretty young. It's very similar to that captain.
Yeah, they're fresh
Yeah,
faced.
fresh faced and very there's not a lot of seasoning on these gentlemen.
Yeah, so they'd be absolutely worthless in a big fucking fight. Because they're well against the orcs anyway. They'd probably have a fucking shit show over time.
Lucaster looks to you guys as a group and he's like, "You guys should probably do a lot of the talking
Okay.
for now. Before I'll step in if I need to." So you guys get to the mansion and Baywater knocks on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And Starbrit comes to the door, opens it. "Oh, who are you?"
I assume that I'm probably leading the group.
I guess. Or Scamos wants to be the leader of the group. That's up to him.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Hello. I am Darius Hamilton.
See,
I am fucking
C-3PO, you and cyborg relations. I know 6 billion languages. Our forms of communication. God damn it. Anyway, go ahead, Darius. Go ahead, Darius.
I am Darius Hamilton.
Yes, you are.
How do I announce myself? Because I'm really not part of the church anymore. So, I guess I announce my.
Unless you want to start making up titles. Yeah, make up titles.
Well, I owning Porsche, does that give me a title in a way? Because it's technically a lot.
Director. I mean, you're the director of Porsche.
I mean, yeah. I am the director of the company Porsche in Waldenstein, and currently, originally born in Avalon, lived in Kingsford. I came back to find the city destroyed.
So your official title is director of Porsche, born in Kingsford?
Yes. Well, I was born in Kingsford. My title is director of Porsche.
Okay.
I'm Avalonian by birth, and I want to know what the hell has happened. Well, I know I've already got a basis.
He looks to the next person in line. I have to announce you all, so thank you for if you have not been to Avalon before, this is how it goes. So I need titles, names and titles, please. So he writes Darius's down.
You're kidding, right?
Perhaps Champion of Athena might work better.
I mean that
That works too.
it does work too, but we're dealing with Avalon here, and that was very much Christian. So I'm not gonna start throwing in.
Would you say champion of the church and not specify which church?
Yeah, that works as well.
I mean, you were also technically a general of the church too for at one point.
Yeah.
And
so
not anymore. We're not.
not anymore.
Yeah, no, thing is the fucking church is broken.
Just tell him champion of the church, soon to be the only church.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Definitely not.
No, Minnie, no. That's how you get executed.
Well,
I mean, I'd like to see them try, but
be adhering to the
So,
church's way.
Champion of the church, I guess.
champion of the church,
So
director
you
of
write
Porsche,
that down.
yeah, whichever you'd like to use.
Champion of the church, director of Porsche Industries.
Mhm.
He looks for the next in line. Whoever's behind Darius.
Who is behind Darius?
Yeah, who's next?
Guessing it probably would be a rear,
It would be Rear
just
probably.
by force of habit.
Yeah.
I just love
Like,
that. Just out of
chained
force
to
of
him.
habit. Oh no, he's not chained because he's not so much of an idiot anymore.
Rear just
Of
looks
course
up.
I have it.
You have to, all of our all of our names and titles. Can't just announce like the group.
And the party of
Yeah, right. The party of winging it by day, or
And accomplices.
right.
And accomplices.
well, yeah, if the others don't have like titles or anything, I guess they would
And
announce it like
Rear.
that if they don't want to give anything.
Rear's talking to the whoever he is, guard or announcer.
The
I'm
servant's
thinking
just looking at Rear as he's trying to get food, and he's like, "Do you not have any titles?"
Rear dust kiln title, likely to explode.
No.
No,
Isn't Aru technically like the king of the dwarves?
not officially.
He's technically a. Well,
He's technically an heir to the throne
yes.
because his family was the ruling family.
So there we go.
Heir to the throne of Forgehammer! Ha ha!
Scamos. I've gotten in trouble announcing that before.
In front of the
Ah.
Debts when they were wild.
Well, I kind of like likely to explode better though.
No.
It's not a title you use in a noble court.
Heir to the throne of Forgehammer. Huh. We actually have royalty here. Interesting.
Rear snorts. Yeah,
That might be overstating matters.
what he said.
And as you say that, Cam, he looks at you and he's like, "And you?"
Camrocus. Out of character. Would I be able to keep my prior rank as
Yeah.
a title?
Yeah. Ranks and titles count.
But
Even if
not
you're
technically
retired.
in the
Even-
military.
Yeah, but if you're retired, you still keep the. You can still use it if you want. You just have to say retired. But
Would the age of retirement be the same?
I mean, it would depend.
Age of retirement would be very different per species.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
for you.
But you can still retire from your job and go and do what you've done being an adventurer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
So-
lived like 600 years, and I
Yeah,
was
but-
spent only like 20 of them in the military.
Yeah, but
He's
you
still
still got
retired.
rank. You still retired though.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna go check the Assyrian documents.
They won't have access to those. Like
Exactly.
Mhm.
yeah.
I think no one has access to those anymore. Anyway,
Anyway.
I am Camrocus, Captain Lieutenant of the Assyrian Medical Corps.
Hmm.
And I feel like I should add another thing. No. No, I'm leaving it at that.
Add it. Mm.
Gamos,
hit.
he looks to you next.
I mean, Scamos. I have no fancy titles to my name.
Your title is no fancy titles.
No, I literally don't have a title. I just have my name.
He's writing down literally no fancy titles.
Untitled.
Untitled.
New
You could've
folder.
gone with- You could have gone with Bard Extraordinaire.
No, there's been enough memes for today. I didn't feel like adding even more.
And Gothic, he looks to you last. Oh, 2 dwarves. Interesting.
Oh yes, I'm Gothic Flint Striker. The Flint, damn it, Flint Striker. Title is.
Flintiest striker.
Protector of the
The
God King.
flintiest striker of the Flint Strikers.
You know, protector to the heir to the throne.
Yeah, there you go.
Lord Protector.
Yeah.
Gothic
He
Flint
doesn't
Striker
protect the heir to
Lord.
the throne from other people. He protects the heir to the throne from himself.
Itself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is still a protector. He's
Lord
the protector.
No,
Protector.
he's the most valuable person here.
Lord Protector of Forgehammer. There you go.
Yes. God, it's just like what?
Anyway, so he writes these down. And alright, follow me. You two, and he looks to Baywater and Lucaster, you two stay here.
Not bringing them in, huh?
Well, they're military. Avalonian military, they're not allowed in here.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
And it's Stonehaven's rules
Stonehaven's rules. No Avalonian military what in the fucking...
in the mansion. Yeah. And Lucaster looks to you, Darius, good luck.
Yes. I think I'm going to need all of it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, we can figure this one out.
So the servant walks you to like the holding room. In very common for nobility in a mansion, they have a room right off their audience room. Wait here for a moment, and I will announce you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him go into the door, close it, and you hear tapping, and then him yelling, and more tapping, and he's yelling all of your guys' titles. And then you hear Scamos, no fancy titles. In the rear. And he's going from least important to most important in his book. And
Yeah.
the two at the end are both of the dwarves.
Yeah.
So
So it
is
starts
very
with
protective,
Scamos.
Scamos, then it goes Darius, and then Cam,
Uh-huh.
and then
Then
Gauze, and then
Gauze, then a rare.
then a rear.
Perfect. They expect the least out of me then.
Yo.
I'm just gonna say that quietly to Darius.
And the door opens, and there's 50 people in this room. You guys you just walk in. There's 50 people just all sitting in chairs and just lounging. And you guys are walked in front of the main chair in the center of the room, and it's Stonehaven. Duke
Yeah.
Stonehaven.
Duke Stonehaven.
He's 12.
He's 12.
He is 12.
Oh, shite. So I assume that there are other people in this court being...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Being...
And Duke Stonehaven, and the servant introduces to the Duke, and then shuts the door behind you.
So we're now just stood there with
You
this...
stood there in front of this 12-year-old sitting in a chair.
Does it look like he has any interest as to what's going on, or is he just like, I'm a kid?
He's bored as shit. Yeah.
Of course. Of course he is. He's a kid. He doesn't want to fucking. He didn't expect to be
Yeah.
Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Then he looks at you, and then he's like, "I guess. What do you want? I guess we'll have to have an audience."
How do I respond to that while not sounding like an asshole?
You might need to be an asshole to be completely
Hang-
honest.
Hang on, so
Or am I just going to have to bitch slap people into place? Is that what you're
Yeah.
telling me?
hang on, so
Go
how
ahead.
is a 12-year-old in charge?
The Duke probably died, and as the only male heir.
So is
Or the
there
oldest.
anyone else in the line of succession right now?
It's the kid.
The kid is
Okay,
the.
so they let the
uh,
12-year-old take charge, or is there like a regent that's running things right now?
Well,
You
I just
don't
put the
know.
region.
The regent hasn't stepped up yet, if there is one.
Jesus fucking Christ!
No.
How far down the line?
I'm just going to step forward, and I'm just going to take charge of the situation. It is an honor to meet you, Duke Stonehaven. I was not expecting someone so young to be in charge.
Well, you have a commoner accent.
Yes, I originally came from the slums of Kingsport.
That's
Kingsford,
not how you generally want to describe it.
but ended up rising higher in life.
Higher how?
I currently own Porsche Industries in Waldenstein, and have been developing weapons and such. And I came home, and well, I've just turned a lot of those weapons I've been developing here to deal with the invaders. I'm just going to set that presence in the courtroom that, yeah, I am counter-invading the invaders.
You're fighting the orcs.
Yes.
You in what army?
Well, I will be bringing home the Avalonian army stuck in Valand. They will be coming in with the next fleet. I've also brought what is left of the Avalonian navy with me.
And this 12-year-old kid is just like, what? And then he looks to the right, and you see a man sitting at a desk. It's kind of off to his right side. And excuse me, what was that? The Avalonian military is in Valand?
That's what I heard from the reports. That they were sent there to do a training exercise or something and were stuck.
And he gets up and walks to you guys. This guy starts walking to you. What's your
This
question,
kid
Kinther?
is
The kid, or is it the dude from the?
It's
the
the
desk?
dude from the table, from the desk.
Mm-hmm.
this kid is essentially the ranking.
He is the
Active.
one in charge of Avalon right now,
He's
by the way.
essentially the king currently,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and he is not aware of where his army is.
No.
And so this man that steps up,
Yep.
Okay.
would I recognize him in any way?
Roll a perception check.
Alright, where's my die? Where's my die? There's my die. So that's a 19 on the die.
Okay.
And I forget Darius's perception. Just grab it. When load faster, you piece of shit. I just haven't had it open this entire time, because I haven't needed my stats yet. Uh, 27 in total.
Okay. You do recognize this this person. He is actually from Kingsford.
Mm-hmm.
His name, and the reason you know him, is his last name is Hill. His His name is Benjamin Hill, but they everybody calls him just Mr. Hill.
Just
And
Mr. Hill.
Mr. Hill, or just Hill. And
You should meet his brother Hank.
Hank, Benjamin and
And
Hank
his
Hill.
nephew Bobby.
He is
Damn,
he's
Bobby.
not high nobility. He's lower nobility. The Hill
Yeah.
family in Kingsford did a lot of banking. They're very
did a lot
much
of
of like they're bankers.
Okay.
And so he wasn't really high in the court, but he helped with the financials for
Oh yeah, they were like,
yeah.
"You're a banker. We need you here."
Yeah, but
As
he
much as they-
wasn't like right hand to the king or anything for that. He worked for the guy that worked for the guy that did that.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't the royal treasurer. He was just the guy
No,
that
he
fucking
worked
did
in the
that.
royal treasury, but wasn't the main one.
Yeah.
And now he's the regent / treasurer for Avalon.
He's
And,
the regent.
Yeah,
Oh fucking hell! Obviously, I don't know that yet.
yeah, but he walks up towards you and what commoner knows of the location of the Avalon military? I'm assuming you're Darius Hamilton.
Yes.
Hmm.
Good travels.
Travels, word from around the countries we've been in, and I also heard it from survivors we have recovered.
Hmm.
Still on the mainland.
Well, the military's just well, I mean, he just
Sat
looks
there.
at you. Well, I didn't realize that's where they got sent. I know they got sent away. For them to be so close is shocking.
Insight. Is he fucking lying like a bitch?
Roll
Yeah,
it if you want.
I kind of want to inside that as well. Not gonna lie, I was gonna say, but I'd like to Siggy.
Okay.
That'll be a 20 non-natural.
Yeah, same.
Anybody else want to insight?
I feel like I should, but I also don't want to just throw dice at the problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's
Don't
a little absurd.
yeah. The dice like it's more of obviously I'm right up in his face. He's like walked up to
Right.
me.
He
And
he
He
crossed.
just seemed sketchily off to me.
He's crossing his hands and he's folded them together and he just walks up to you and he's literally like face to face with you at this point and just
To refine my insight question a bit, Waller,
Yeah.
does he seem sketch as fuck right now?
Is there a
Does he
bit of
have
a
a goatee?
he has a goatee, yes.
Totally the big
He
bad
is
evil guy.
sketch as fuck.
Of course he is.
Scamos, you're also kind of getting a. This might not be. You're getting a demon bell going off in your head too
Ooh, interesting.
with your roll.
Interesting.
So you're getting a ding ding ding.
Basically,
The demon sense is tingling.
yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shift myself.
So
just-
when I was announced, did the guy say champion of the church as well?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
so
he
he's
did.
very bold. So
Yes,
he's making
he
it seem
is.
like he's making it seem like he's not one by going up to someone who is
Mhm.
a holy man. That's a smart play. Smart play.
Waller.
Yeah.
Knowing that, I'm gonna cast detect magic in here really quick.
Okay.
It is also worth mentioning that that is not a stealthy thing to do.
It's not.
And
You want to try and do it stealthily?
let's see.
Don't you need like special class features for that? Like a subtle spell from sorcerer?
Actually, let me check something really quick. I might have a better way to handle this. I won't do that. I have something I'm gonna hang on to for a second. This will be interesting. If this works.
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep a close eye on him, and if he starts to do anything
So-
sketch,
He turns to the Duke and he's like, "My lord, I will take care of this. Go back to what you were doing." And he just like turns back to like just staring at randomly off into space somewhere.
who the Lord does,
The Duke.
the Duke
Yeah, the Duke.
does.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so as soon as he starts to do that,
Well, there's other people in the court.
There's other people in there.
right? But as soon as he does that, I am going to then just suddenly swing my guitar off, just like it's a nervous thing, and I'm gonna start playing just an idle tune on it, just like something to fill the air. And as I do that, I'm gonna use my class feat counter charm.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
What does that do?
me and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of me have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Ooh.
So if the king is making saves right now for being charmed, he now has advantage on those.
For the Duke.
I see
Yep,
you
for the
guys
Duke.
have a musician in your contingent.
Yes, it is
Just
rather
quiet,
unfortunate that
respectful music.
information was not conveyed to you in the as he was announced.
I see.
I'm also gonna mutter just under my breath really quick because I'm not dressed properly for this. Or at least it'll look
Okay.
out of place. Under my breath in Abyssal,
Mhm.
just to see if he reacts to hearing this.
What do
at
you
all.
say?
And it's a shame that someone else here feels so strange.
By the way, as he's like saying a bard, like as you're saying that and he's finishing his sentence, like you two just get this like locking of eyes.
Oh,
Like
I know Abyssal. I understood that.
yeah.
And then I see his
And
reaction.
you
and
see
I
his
get that
eyes
moment
go
of,
to-
oh shit, okay.
And now all of a sudden the music makes sense.
Yeah. I've now realized what Scavos is now doing. I was like, oh.
Cam doesn't understand a word.
Nope.
If you just make it sounds.
Nope.
No,
Mhm.
I'm gonna act like a bit of a clumsy oaf with this next maneuver.
Oh no.
Right. Well, as in like I overextend rather than like I'm gonna
I'm waiting for someone to get their ass stabbed in a
no,
second.
no, it's just gonna be that moment of did he catch your attention as I flick my arm out? I accidentally touch his hand with my bracer.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
and
Oh, I overextend my arm accidentally. Oh no.
oh no. It's a holy bracer too, isn't it?
It is,
Mhm.
yes it is. That's why I used it.
Yep. And you see him like quickly, like
Re-
he retracts his where you touch him, like just really
He's like,
fast.
"Ah!"
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm
Well, he
fine,
tapped you.
thank you. And you see him back up a few more steps from you, and he resets himself.
Mhm. And I'm gonna now that we've confirmed this one, I'm still playing, still in Abyssal, just say to him, "Tell me, do you have him charmed?"
He doesn't say anything.
Is he starting to look a bit unnerved now,
A
realizing
little
that
bit, but then
the
he looks
cat's
like
nearly out of the
a
bag?
couple more seconds go by, and then he looks right back at you, Scamos, and he's like, "I would be careful in Abyssal to you.
Oh, and why should I be?
I'm not the only one in here."
I'm not the only one in here either. And I'm still just quietly playing away on the guitar.
And you start realizing that the other idle conversation in the court has stopped,
Mhm.
and
Well,
everybody
like-
is now looking
like-
at you, Scamos.
Like dead stop.
Yes.
Like everybody has just zoned in
And-
on this.
Yes.
So
Impressive ears.
the only reason that they would zone in on that is if they're understanding the words.
Yes, they are.
Mhm.
Everybody, the Duke.
Everybody but the Duke.
Yep, the Duke's zoned.
Yeah.
So everybody but the Duke.
Yes.
How many people are we talking?
About 50.
50.
Yeah.
So what is your plan here then?
You get one chance. Leave.
I'm still
Or
just
we kill you.
I'm still just playing. I'm Scamus is actually gonna laugh. You would be amazed how many people have made that threat to us. Funny that we're still alive.
Yeah, usually they're the ones that, I respond in abyssal. So, it says that I understand what they're saying as well.
By the way, you're hearing these. Yeah, everybody else in the party's hearing this abyssal conversation, like in guttural, going on.
So they're realizing, okay, wait, doesn't Arid know abyssal? I could have sworn I borrowed the book off you,
One
didn't
moment.
I? So you had the book.
I think I can understand it if it's written. Gnome and
Yeah, he
Abyssal.
can't.
I can't speak it or understand it spoken,
Yeah, he only can read it.
I believe
Yeah.
was the catch.
Yep.
Because I never put any extra time into
Nope.
developing it.
Yeah. Okay.
But Arir's going to get the sense that many of our group meetings, this is
Yeah,
about
this
to
is
go south.
Something's going
This
down.
is good. Yeah, shit's
Waller?
about to hit the fan.
He's
Go ahead.
going to load canister into Blood.
How far is it to the other side of the room, pretty much?
From where you guys are to the other side of the room, it's about 100 feet.
100 feet,
Like,
and like
yeah.
it's
What, that to the door, or is that? where
Well,
we
you
get-
guys are kind of still at the door.
where
But
the
that would be the other side of the room, like to the other end of the door, probably to go off to wherever they keep the Duke.
so. I guess a better question is all these 50 people are like all now paying attention to Scamos, and I see.
Yeah.
How close are they all like in the group?
The furthest one from you guys is about 30 feet.
Oh no.
Because you guys remember, courts are kind of packed in. But
Yes.
yeah,
Question.
yeah.
Did Arir, when he was on the ship, complete the reverse engineer and making of that Gatling gun?
No,
Damn.
Still in progress.
still in progress.
We were only flying for 2 days.
Well, I can make it with magic, so as long as I understand how it's made, I have the materials because I picked them all up, but I'm guessing I don't fully understand how it works.
Yeah, you've been studying. It's something you haven't fully studied before, so it's taking time.
Okay,
to get
just checking.
So what are you all doing here in Avalon?
Surviving.
And what, pray tell, kind are you then? Or rather, I should say, where do you come from?
Well, Rishkova.
I fucking knew he was gonna say that. I fucking knew it. You wouldn't happen to
Interesting.
like hearing that.
You wouldn't happen to come from a certain, well, not very specific, but
Middle of the wilderness.
yeah, I mean, but most of the, like Darius says, most of us come from the middle of the wilderness if they're living out there. Like, come on.
Just assuming you're
What
the
race of demon are you?
Hmm. And he just. You're not a full demon, are you?
Sitting there just still playing away.
Hmm.
Well,
I'll show you yours if you'll show. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Deliverance starts playing in the background. I don't know if I should answer that. He's just looking at you.
Well, you're obviously using some sort of illusion to describe yourself, like to
Describe
disguise yourself. So, that much is obvious. which means you have most likely at least one sort of trickster amongst you.
What if we all are tricksters?
Well, that would be an interesting thing now, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. He's just looking at you and he's like, Or we could be a collection from Roscova.
How much of a collection was my village?
Like, in terms of multiple races?
Yes.
Not.
I know there was some. I know, like we established, there's like some succubi there, but
Yeah. Mainly, it wasn't like. It was only a few. It was the succubi mainly.
succubi and tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I suppose that could be possible. Not very likely to be a hugely mixed collection, though, unless you're just remnants of tons of different villages smashed together.
Well, when
Something burns down the villages, you did what you had to do to survive.
something kills your creator, something also have to do things to survive.
Oops.
So you are a full-blown demon then, and not just a half.
I am, at least.
And the others?
They served me.
Uh-huh. And are they fulls or halves as well?
Both.
Got a mix.
Mix.
Ugh. Scam, who is it? Just us in here?
It's
And the demons, obviously?
it's everybody. I mean, yeah.
Everybody but the Duke.
Well, the Duke's in there, but the Duke is not paying attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of shrug my robe off while I'm still playing.
Oh. Okay.
The
You
Duke
guys
is
just
now
watch.
paying attention.
The Duke looks at you, David.
Actually?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. The one time he's not, he just says, I wonder what.
Demon.
I'm just gonna be staring down our friend here right now. Now here's the fun part. He brings all of his people in here. I'll make sure all of your guys' concealment is dispelled. So I think it's in our best interests that we work together right now. Because believe me, I trust, and I'm gonna kind of swing, my head toward like the whole group here,
Mhm.
them to protect me. Can you say the same of your groups?
I don't need protection.
You claim that.
Hmm.
So why don't we have a nice simple conversation about what's going on here? Because I think you might be surprised to find that both my and their inclinations here somewhat align with yours.
I just imagine this guy hearing that, just turns to the holy man who's just smiling at him.
You sure you want to know and find out who you're messing with?
I mean, it's going to be a lot easier to talk things out with you if we know what you actually look like, for starters.
All right. And he reveals himself.
Is the Duke just still freaking out in the back, like, demon? And no one else has reacted to it.
Yeah, no, everybody's just like locked on you, and he's freaking out, and then he watches as Hill turns into a freaking archdemon right in front of you guys.
Which arch, like,
It's not a named one, let's put it that way.
So it's
They're
just
all
a
named.
archdemon. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
archdemons should be named.
yeah, all the archdemons are named. That's why I'm
named.
asking which one it is. This matters.
That's like saying it's not a named
know.
king.
It's not a named king.
Rare from the background just says, "Is that one tomatoes?"
But yeah, we're talking about one of the lords here.
Yeah.
So which lord is this?
Belial.
Well,
Belial.
Here you go.
luck.
Belial.
Yo. Yup.
I'm
Hang
guessing
on.
I don't recognize this demon
You don't know.
since I also have no idea what the fuck they've been saying.
I'm just gonna kind of raise an eyebrow at him when I see him do this.
Mhm.
Like when I see who it is, I'm like, Lord Belial. Funny. I guess I was close. I mean, I figured this was more of a Fiona kind of trick.
We had to do. You have to do things to survive.
Well, yeah, but like still, you got to admit, kind of fits her style just a little bit more.
Mm.
I just love the fact that the Duke is just
I
now
mean-
probably shitting himself.
Yeah, he
Tell
is.
me, where is she these days? If everything has collapsed this badly that you're up here trying to seize this.
She's dead.
Really now?
You understand what's been going on recently?
Oh god, no, I've been up here, man. I know nothing of what's going on.
I'm assuming it was you all that put chaos down.
Both of them down. Working on the third.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say the third is the one that took out. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow, so you're probably interested in a little bit of revenge then.
an alliance perhaps.
Given that I'm assuming you're probably not happy that your daughter is dead.
Hmm. The question becomes, how long do we keep fighting? Yes, revenge sounds good, but survival is better.
Of course, survival is better. But that's why the good leadership of this here country is going to bend the knee a little bit and give us our own place to stay.
Oh.
I mean, come on. Do you think they're going to leave him in charge? I'm going to point at a 12-year-old. What was your plan? Just like keep trying to control the minds of all of the leaders they put on that throne?
I was maneuvering myself to take over.
Well, yeah. But do you think then the rest of the nations are going to let that slide?
If they didn't know, then,
How are they not going to find out?
well, he's the last, one of the last few.
One of the last few. We so happen to have one of the ones that probably is a bit better suited to run that throne in agreement with us.
How did you pull that one off, Tiefling?
Tiny bits of honesty, lots of good political maneuvering, the right friends, and access to an entire army that I can also use for construction projects that basically doesn't die because they just reform themselves after they die. You know, the basics.
Interesting. By the way,
Tell me-
Darius, I don't know if you've ever been in the presence of somebody this, like...
He's like 10 foot, ain't he?
Well, no. Well, You've never been in a presence of a demon with like this old school. I mean, you've had some Baylor fights, but this guy is like.
This is like
Yeah,
a
there's
10-foot.
probably-
This is a fucking 10-foot.
There's probably like
tall,
a
I will
slight
beat your
uncomfortable
fucking
feeling.
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling that because of the power we've absorbed, it's not as uncomfortable as it would be.
No, it's not.
So Darius is just mosey
Yeah.
on through that uncomfortability like me.
So what's the deal? We go and live there forever in harmony and work with the humans?
I mean, if the humans want to stay on the island, I don't know how many of them would do that. But, I'm sure something could be worked out. But yes, the general gist of it is we have our own place, they have theirs. No more of this running around and murdering each other in the name of some fucking lunatic.
I'm working on that end of it. Darius chimes in with that.
Just
We should
inserts himself.
probably switch to common for the rest of your party.
Yeah,
And,
so we should also deal with him freaking
Alright,
out.
I'll
in the
roll
back.
over. I'll roll over to common, and yeah, we probably should. Would make a lot more sense.
and
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it, guys.
Yeah, the rest of the party just sees this demon now in front of us, like this 10-foot demon, and
Yeah.
we just have this casual conversation.
Isaac, I have no idea, but I loaded canister, then the demon turned. Now I've got cannonball.
just hearing that.
Arrear's
Where-
just like slotting in
Stand
and out rounds.
Down. Stand down, idiot.
I
Like
mean,
that.
to be fair, Darius, they probably didn't take
Oh,
the
I mean,
all
they
that well.
probably picked up on us, not speaking common, and thought, oh shit, something's going wrong.
So he's friend, and I should take the triple explosive rounds out of the.
Yes.
Okay. He just opens the breach and like 4 explosive
Loads
rounds
it.
I'm
fall
still gonna
out.
put my hand on my face and just go fucking dwarves.
He likes
why do you
explosions.
hang out with them?
I got picked up by this party, and they keep those two, or rather that one. The other one's actually good.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, I
that
just
one's
waved to
good.
The demon.
He
that
has
one's
the-
more potential political power at this point.
I see that one's marked.
I have that
Yes.
hidden. It should have that hidden.
He can sense it. He's a demon, a high-ranking demon.
Would you like me to fix that for you?
I think
Careful,
I
guys.
I think I have that already. It's somewhat worked out. I'm good.
Partially worked out, and I'm gonna kind of look at the Lord and go, what are you implying?
I can remove his deal.
At the cost of what?
A promise.
A promise of.
I want to lead in our new home.
Must be the lord of all of you that are up here now.
So you're the last one left then.
That I know of. It's up here, yes.
That's fair. And what do you want to do with this leadership of yours?
Lead our people?
Well, yeah, no, I get that. It's like, are you planning on just leading them and letting us have our ways, or are you going to try and, raise up an army and conquer everything?
That's for me to decide.
This is back in common, right?
Yes.
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 Rear size. Goes to get the explosive round again.
Calm down.
No,
Calm the
where-
hell down.
No.
That's my ask. His freedom for my leadership.
Darius, do
Mhm.
you trust me?
How many times have we had each other's lives in our palm of each other's hands? Of course I trust you at this point.
I'm going to look across the rest of the party, essentially asking the same question of all of them.
I just point to the marking, man.
on.
No, they're
only-
talking. This isn't common. This
Yeah,
isn't common.
no, this part isn't. That part was
The
in
last
common.
couple sentences have been in common.
I'm gonna when Scamma looks at me, I just point at his mark and just like it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get it
I'm
off me! Get it off me!
Yeah. Cam, Lord Belial, Cam. He's wanting to run the country that we're going to give my people, is basically what he's asking in exchange for removing the mark on Gaz.
Sounds like a spectacularly bad idea.
Yeah, like me running Forge Hammer.
No, you running Fort Hammer actually works, and
Well, as long as you behave.
Rue just looks at Darius like, yeah.
it is definitely hard to judge a archdevil's intentions. But given how he has acted up until this point, I do not believe he is intent on making himself a real threat.
At this point in time.
See, it's statements like that.
It falls back to their nature. They always do.
Rude, Darius.
That-
Just like it's the nature of a churchy person to go around and stab people for not believing in the right thing.
He's got a point, Darius.
Have I stabbed you or any of the others here?
You
Yes.
stabbed plenty of other people.
I mean, yeah, I've stabbed plenty of other people. I've also been stabbed and shot myself.
It's up to you, Scamos. Use your
I
judgment,
forget
we'll
if
go
you've
with it.
specifically stabbed someone here, but you've definitely attacked people in the room
You've nearly killed a rear.
Oh, I nearly beat him to death.
twice.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cam, what I'm asking is, do you trust me and my judgment on this?
If you hadn't added that second half, I suppose I must.
He sounds so confused. I
Cam
must?
is just like, fuck, do I actually trust this raging fucking tiny ass little...
Cam at this point believes there is a lot more context going on that he completely missed. Because you had a good couple minute conversation where he couldn't understand a word before saying a couple sentences in common and going, "Hey, do you trust me?"
I mean,
Uh,
look, all it was mostly bickering back and forth about trying to figure out who was who in this case.
It's literally the Spider-Man reflection meme.
Yeah.
You, me, you, me, but yeah.
I suppose I must trust you. There's not much other choice at the moment.
And he looks back to you, Scamos.
So that's all you want then, is to lead our people.
I'm the only qualified one left. Unless you think you could, which I doubt.
Scams enough, you are bold to think I want to.
Hmm.
No, all I push for and want is a place for our people to live without being stabbed in the face.
Well,
Darius, any concerns?
I mean,
making a deal with the devil. Yup.
we're trying to go for peace here. That's why I'm trying to reform the church so you can live in peace.
Very well. Well, Lord Belial.
Scamos.
I mean, If you want to lead, I have no interest in it. What the rest of the demons and our kind will say of that fact, that is up to you to handle. Because I can't speak for all of them. And you know that's how that works.
Agreed. Shake puts out his hand. Scamos.
Shake on it. Fuck it.
Yep. Now about the Duke. Does he live or die?
He's a
Yeah.
12-year-old. We can let him live and replace him with someone better.
Let him live. I don't know, wipe his memory of this incident.
Yeah, we can handle that. That's not a problem.
We can.
I mean, you saw me change the memory of that one chick.
I have no memory of this event.
Somehow the spell jumped and hit Cam as well.
What? We can modify memories?
When did this happen?
As a player, I actually don't remember.
Oh,
You have
so
modified
when
memory.
we rolled back to the teleport and like the fucking psychiatrist lady came in and was trying to
Yeah.
accost us all to take Darius off, I cast
Yeah.
modify
Yeah.
memory on him. It worked.
I mean, I could just snap my fingers and you just like you see Belial like snap my fingers and then you just see like the kid's neck break and then he's like, I could just do that.
Yet no.
No.
We're gonna probably still need him at some point in the future.
Oh,
Yes.
for what? Don't you have a replacement? You
We
said
do
you
have a replacement. It's never a bad idea to have a backup.
That is a point.
Trust me, you don't want to. By the way, this kid, if this was actually like an actual like movie, it was the kid that played the one from Game of Thrones.
Joffrey?
Brexit, not Joffrey, the one that was in the freaking
Oh,
Gary-
the fucking
Yeah.
Moonwell boy. Moonwell.
yeah,
I
that guy,
want food.
that guy, basically
that
that
guy.
kid.
Oh
Yeah,
god, he's a little shit.
yep.
Well, he did change when he fucking
I know.
grew
When
up.
he got
though.
older.
So
Yeah.
there's always time for them to turn it around.
So the Belial snaps his fingers and kid's not dead anymore. There you go.
What the fuck?
Just gonna say that out loud.
Like it's like this. He's not saying that out loud. It's like a little bit under his breath, but like pretty much everyone in the room can hear, given how the
Yeah.
rules are made.
Okay. So come now, and I'm gonna kind of clap my hands a little bit. Why don't we all reveal ourselves then? Because I'm interested to see who all is actually here.
Yeah. So they
I assume the kid is just unconscious at this point after he got
the
revived.
kid is now
I
unconscious.
was gonna cast sleep on him if it didn't work.
And you guys watch as like everybody like the party, you just watch all these people that are in the court are now all demons and or pit fiends and devil folk.
Any tieflings?
There is a few tieflings, yes.
Cool. Any succubi?
Here's 2.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, he knows who he's going to talk to
Do I
later.
recognize either of the 2 succubi that are here?
You do.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, who are they?
It's not your mother.
Okay.
It's your mother's sister, though.
Oh god damn it.
Your aunt's sister.
It's anti-succubus.
So
Fuck.
It's
my aunt and
Succubus.
who else?
And it was some rando.
The village.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a deep, slow breath, and I'm going to turn very slowly and look at Belial and go, "You could have at least told me my family was here."
Well, a couple of them.
Yeah, still could have said something.
Surprises.
Any other people from my village here that I recognize?
I mean, you recognize them. They're just like lower fiends and stuff. So they're not anybody of note.
The odd face that you saw around the village.
Yeah. Like, oh, I know that guy. I don't remember his name, but I know that guy. And stuff like that.
I think
So-
after this, they're all gonna know yours though.
No.
I'm gonna kind of look around at the. It's like, nope.
Go.
All right, Darius, you can take this from here. I'm gonna go ahead and step out before she comes over here to say hi.
Family
but-
issues, Gamos.
Scamos just fucking yeets himself out of the room.
I'm just gonna literally hold like that finger up by like,
Well then,
I'm gonna go ahead and step out for a little bit. I'll let you handle your new demon friend negotiations here since we have this kind of in the bag. Good luck. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
okay.
I'm gonna just swing the cloak back on and step out.
So just turning back to fucking Belial stood there. Can we get him fixed real quick? Indicating towards Gozik.
Yeah, he's already fixed.
Oh, cool.
I look at the mark.
It's
I
gone.
didn't. I didn't know if you'd done it or not.
God.
So, I assume that you've taken over all of the nobility apart from the Duke.
Yes.
Cool. The one we
They
have
all-
in the way.
We're very, very they weren't smart when they made their deals, let's put it that way.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Very self-serving, I suspect. And Jesus.
That was my phone. Sorry.
Ring, ring.
Snake! Snake!
Snake!
Snake!
Do-do-do-do.
Very self-serving and not well worded, I suspect. Probably in a panic.
Yes.
Well, seeing as you have literally all of the nobility, then you can literally just crown the one who has a bloodline to become the next king. Simple as that. No, doesn't look bad to the other nations, like a hostile takeover, looks good, and in turn, we can build more relations from there to help deal with the other situation. And then, of course, we've got to bring the forces back, but that's underway. Right. How's everyone else feeling? Like just stood in this room full of demons right now, and just seeing
It's-
Darius
it's-
being very casual.
Yeah, like like this is really out of character for Darius because when you guys first met him, he probably would have been like, all of these people cannot stand.
Yep, character growth,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
You know.
At least he's willing to build chairs for them.
Anyway, I think that's a good place to bookmark it because it is like 8 for freaking Minnie, and knowing him, he wants to go
Watch
wind
anime.
down and watch anime for 2 hours and then go to bed because he's a nerd.
He wants to go watch anime, jack off real quick, and go sleep. That's all he
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you got the order all wrong.
wants. Jack off first, then anime, huh?
Or are they
Alright.
the same thing at the same time?
Who depends on the anime.
He's there watching like High School of the Dead.
You know, it's just getting things done, quickly.
Oh my god, Minnie.
2 for 1.
Are you still recording, by the way?
Yes.
No, that's
I
No.
wouldn't have stopped it there. You kidding me?
anyway. That is it.
All right, recording coming down.